Hello, can you hear me? Yes, okay, good. All right, well, I'm back to this, which I had hoped to finish weeks ago, but everything takes me 10 times as long as I think it will take me, and probably a good 2 to 4 times as long as it really ought to take me. So here I am, still working on the same piece. But it's almost done. Almost done. And then once it's done, I can move on to other stuff. It's difficult doing these very detailed big pieces at a desk because it hurts my neck. And so I can do it for a little while, but then start injuring my neck and I can't keep it up. Thank you. It's going to have silver leaf. I got silver leaf to apply to the background, so that's going to be fun. And then I'm going to, before I apply the silver leaf, I'm going to scan it in pieces. Actually, come to think of that, this is a nice yellow piece for that other video. I'm going to record this. Record. There we go. I've always admired your detailed artwork, even when you were a wee little thing. Thank you. And then I look at other botanical artists and I'm blown away because I don't have nearly the patience for some of the kinds of mostly accuracy. I mean, I can create details, but they're not necessarily a huge perfect reflection of reality. They're just, texture. All artists out there who have a much more rigorous process for replicating what they see. It's not that I wish to do that, really. I kind of like that my artwork leaves, you know, it's a painting. I'm not trying to hide that it's a painting. And I think that there's more to scientific illustration than just taxonomic identification, which is where that's useful. So I'm happy to leave that to other people. It's one of these things where it's like, I wish I could say that this is purely a choice, but it's also just a reality of how I can work. I can't really, I don't have the patience to draw a thing and then go back and correct it and copy from, you know, previous drafts. And I don't write that way either. I always found it difficult to, what, you want me to write a draft? I mean, isn't that just write the thing? Are other people going to join my stream? Oh, I see. I didn't actually tag everyone. Wait one moment. Let me at everyone here. At everyone. So now, yes. There we go. That'll work better. Actually, using the tag I want to use. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna go over here and maybe use some other things. Paste. Yes, enter. And let's go here. And we have a whole stream announcement thing for this. I don't have. Where'd I go? There we go. That should be plenty. Hi, Stephen. How are you? Didn't see a notification. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the YouTube notifications. They are pretty spotty. I should figure out how to just cue the thing so that it... Because I can create and name a stream ahead of time and schedule it. And then I never do. I just have basically a rolling stream on my OBS software. So I turn on the camera and I turn on the stream thing and it goes, automatically starts playing. Which is how that one time you got to watch my cat streaming, walking across my desk, and then a blank desk for 4 hours. Now I make sure to turn off the camera, so even if he turns on the stream, it doesn't actually turn on. I am pretty good, yeah. Definitely injured my neck working on this piece last week. And every time I sit down, thinking that I'm recovered, I find out that I'm not as recovered as I might hope. So that's unfortunate, but luckily this is almost done. That was a classic. Yep. He's a real entertainer. Okay, and then I have so many things I've been meaning to do for weeks, and it's like, and the weeks fly by, and I've actually been doing things every day, or most days, and yet the backlog just keeps growing. I don't understand. I'm just going to take a little bit more of this here. There we go. doing that stereotypical stooping over to paint instead of just finding a spot for the easel and using it. Now my back is a bit sore. Is that a stereotypical male thing? Because I do that all the time, and it's what what's been ruining my back. I mean, in this case, it's at my desk because that's the best way I've found to point a camera directly at my work. If it's tilted, then I need a camera, I don't know, over my shoulder or something. So I find it difficult to find a good camera angle at an easel. I mean, there's also a challenge of right now, I tried streaming from the studio, and although we have decent internet there, I don't have all my tech set up there, so the quality of the stream was just not nearly so good. So I'm streaming from home, but my home studio doesn't have room for my easels right now, so that's part of the problem. But honestly, even when I was streaming at the studio, more often than not, I was not streaming at an easel the way I would prefer to paint, because I can just never get the right camera angle on that. Red Green said a man will do a temp 15-minute fix once a week for the rest of his life rather than devote one whole day and fix it properly. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't know that that's... Unfortunately, I think that's all genders. Take a break every 20 minutes or so. We could all do a stretch break. You can lead it. Yeah. Absolutely. Although, unfortunately, with my joints, it's not so much stretching, like lack of stretching, that's the issue. It's overstretching. It's my... joints slip into an overextended position. There are like strengthening exercises that are supposed to help. And I really should get back to my what's it? Physio for that, but I'm scared of physio. Because physio can cause cascading failures in my joints. And has. Stretching feels good though. Painting's looking so good, thank you! Yes, I'm quite happy with this one. As I was discussing earlier, not so happy about what it's been doing to my back. Which is kind of hilarious when you think about the application of this painting as my back and neck, which I've been ruining by... So this is flat on my desk for video purposes, which means that I need to forward head posture to work on it. And my neck locks up. I hyperextend, and so my C2 and C3 vertebra pop out. Sorry, no. C4 and C5. That's where the bump is, right? Yeah. And then my muscle seize up around that. And so it's a real pain to release back. They were locked in that position for years, to the point where I thought that was just the shape of my neck. It is not. Anyway, I've been working on this. And I guess the sort of ironic thing is this piece is for a textile design for my invisible project, which is looking at invisible disability and sort of relating invisible disability back to invisible, like hidden in plain sight nature. And so this specific piece is getting reproduced as a textile design that's going to be applied to some corsetry pieces, a neck, like a torso corset, and actually a neck corset, to hold my neck up properly to prevent that hyperextension, allow my muscles to relax, to release that hyperextension. So it's a little bit funny that it's exactly creating it that's causing that right now. What we do for our art. I think the bump you can feel is C7, the very bottom of the neck. Yeah, so there's when my neck is properly seated, I can just feel the top of my rib cage, which is your C7 to T1, I guess, but it's not super prominent. And then above that, I get a little bump out that at one point when all of my joints were unlocking when I started my SNRI, I could still feel it, everything else unlocked, but there was that one bump above my C7 to T1. So I think it's C4, C5, or C5, C6. Two cervical vertebra that just, because of forward head posture, they slip out further from the others. So like your neck is supposed to have a curve like so, and I end up with, you know, here's my, am I going to demonstrate this? I'm going to take some paint. These paints are now thoracic vertebra, and so instead of being arranged like this, the way they're supposed to, these two pop out, and so then there's an extra little bump. Those two pop out, and then these ones sort of bend this way. It's yucky. It feels bad. It's one of these things that I never thought was... Yeah. So, like, everyone should be able to feel the top of their... where their neck connects to the top of their rib cage. Now, it shouldn't be really prominent. If it is really prominent, then something might be out of place anyway. But yeah, no, I have a... where my vertebra slips is above that. I also have in my thoracic rib cage, I have somewhere around my T, or somewhere around my T7 also like slipping out. I mean, this is one of those things where I thought for sure, like, because you only live in your own body, right? So, and you have a certain understanding of how bodies work. So I would have these experiences like, it feels like one of my ribs is not in the right place, but that's not a thing. Ribs don't just migrate. Except it turns out that I have the genetic disease that causes ribs to, yeah, sometimes migrate. So what I was feeling was actually probably a very accurate representation of what's going on. No body snatcher. Well, you probably don't want to snatch this body. It's pretty broken. But yeah, so this is one of those things where knowing the explanation really doesn't make it at all nicer. Where it's like, I feel like I was maybe better off before I knew that this is actually what's going on with my body. Because knowing it just, like, it's just one of those things where, like, you don't want it to be your spine just slipping out of place. There's something very unnerving about that's the explanation for what's going on with your body. Like, oh, I was better off with the, like, oh, it just feels like my spine is slipping out of place, but surely that's just... muscle cramps. Yeah, muscle cramps. Why muscle cramps? Digestive issues. Like, not a fun thing, but yeah, my specific spine issues. I mean, I think everyone has just, like, forward head posture is a real problem for everyone, but it presents a little bit differently for me. Oh, what is that? Sorry, I just popped up a little share thing. Need to do that. Already shared this plenty. Muscle crabs. Muscle cramps. Cramps, not crabs. Crabs in my muscles might be worse than something wrong with my spine. That is true. That's hilarious. It's my Canadian accent. It's difficult for all you people to understand. Prep a cake. Ooh, that's cool. Fun. That sounds nice. What kind of cake? An opera cake. What's an opera cake? That sounds exciting. Tasty. Seven-layer cake. Oh my goodness. Praline, buttercream, and a topping of chocolate. That sounds delicious. And also, yeah, ambition much? I would love to eat one, but that's about as involved as I would become with that. That's my way to decompress on the weekends. I make cake. Well, I support decompression. Decompression sounds good. If making a 7-layer cake helps you relax, then by all means. I feel like making a 7-layer cake might just add to the pressure I feel about everything. But that's just my personal experience. I'm not much of a baker. I do enjoy cooking. And I'm gonna need to share some recipes. You know what is the part that is scaring me the most? I do not. Opera cake is a French cake made with the almond sponge cake soaked in coffee syrup, layered with ganache and coffee, French buttercream, and covered in a chocolate glaze. It is a health cake. I would eat the whole thing. That just means it's healthier, right? More health cake is more better. Ain't I a weirdo? Aren't we all? That's why we all get along so well. Or third, or you get what I mean. So that the trick is to portion it into enough slices that it's just like one grab and go. I find this with cookies, is you can have like 24 cookies and somehow at the end of the evening there's no cookies because I just grab one and I go and I do something, and then I go and I grab one more, and then I go and I do something, I go grab one more. You know, at no point am I serving myself a heaping bowl of cookies. So it's sinking in for me just how much I've taken on with my new crazy garden. Just how much food I'm expecting to produce. So I'm gonna need a lot of recipes, hopefully of the like at least some for preserving and stuff, so that I can enjoy the bounty through the winter. Oh. I'm a very nice person. I will take some slices for work on Monday. The garden, not just the cake. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah. It's about 600. So, I have about 300 square feet of planting area at my house, although a lot of that is filled with perennials, so it is not, that one's not particularly difficult to fill. Because a lot of it is perennials, a lot of it is flowers, a lot of it is, like I have fruit trees and bushes and what have you, but then I also have the new, yeah, it's community garden, I guess, but in my neighbor's garden that is 600 square feet, so that's about 50 square meters. And that's just my space. There's also, like, that garden is, you know, there's a vegetable growing area, so I have my 600 square feet, but I also have, there's also perennial beds around it for herbs and stuff, and I'm maintaining those as well. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. It should feed us. Should be self-sufficient in vegetables and most fruit through the year. Yeah. Earlier this week I went in, so we'd gotten, last Friday we got, compost delivered. Composted cow manure mulch. And Jordan helped me apply that. And so then earlier in the week I went in and I tried to cover as much ground as I could, basically, because we're still a good, month than a half off from our last frost date. But it is warming up, so like things are growing. We have longer days. And we haven't, like, the ground's not frozen, and we haven't had a frost in 2 weeks? No, about a week. We're not expecting a frost in the next week, but between now and the end of May, we'll probably get 1 or 2 more, freezes. Like, we'll probably get 1 more proper freeze, at least a couple more frosts. So I can't transplant out my tomatoes and peppers and whatever, even if they were ready, which they're not. But hardier stuff that can take a light frost can be planted out. So I put in 200 onion starts. Or onion sets, rather. I wanted to do onion starts. I was not able to start onions this year. It was weird. Nothing was sprouting. What else? Tons. I did have some overwintered spinach that did come up. So a little bit of tending to my overwintered spinach, some overwintered collards. Overwintered kale, and then put in more arugula, more spinach, carrots, peas. Now I did start peas in the garden, but I've also got peas started inside in case we have a hard freeze or a long stretch. In case we got a hard freeze or a long stretch of just too cool for if it's too cold, then the peas, even if they're not frozen, they won't germinate if it's under like 10 degrees Celsius. For a long consistent period, they'll just germinate a lot more slowly, so they can rot in the soil. So I looked at the weather forecast. We did have a couple days of nice warm weather, then a couple of cool days, and then it's meant to get warm again next week. So I think the peas I started outside probably will be fine. Like, they started germinating when I transplanted them, and then they might not pop up fully until next week, but they should be fine. But in case I have in case in the next couple weeks we get a really cold spell, I did put some of my vining peas I started indoors in little wind strips so that I can pop them out and transplant them. Yeah. Lots of things. But it's still like, I was just struggling to come up with like, what else can I plant? Because I just have so much room. And then there's just, I don't want to leave bare soil, but I need to have space available for when my summer plants get transplanted in. So, very, very long season stuff doesn't really make sense. Also, if I fill up all the area now, then I'm gonna have a problem in a month or two once real planting begins. Anyway, I just broadcast sowed a bunch of like microgreen arugula and cress and spinach and lettuce. And a lot of that stuff will just get planted right over because it'll bolt the moment that hot weather actually sets in. I'll maybe save some seed from some of it, but yeah. Yeah, our be right back, need to get a robe. Stop coveting my cake. Sorry, Paolo. You came here and just gave the most appetizing descriptions. So now we're all just gonna sit here and drool about your cake. I am coveting your cake. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I need to get a robe. Yep. It's not 30C. I am all bundled up in my cozy sweater because it's about, like 5 degrees now. Our weather was pretty good. It was actually, it cleared right up. Like we had some overcast weather in the morning, but then during the eclipse itself, it was pretty clear. Yeah. So we were able to see, I mean, we didn't get, totality here. We got 98 point something %, which as it turns out is, you know, totality is totality and not totality is not totality, and there's not much, you know, that the like, oh yeah, you're at 98% is just really not, just not as impressive as full totality, but we still enjoyed it. We hung out in our yard and stared up at the sun with special dorky glasses. Amber got her own special dorky glasses that were not rated for eclipse, but it didn't matter because she was staring the opposite way. She would see us looking up, and so she'd look back at us and stare up, but she was facing the opposite way. Could you look without protection at the best part? No, not in a responsible way. You'd still catch rays in the eyes. I think Jordan did accidentally glance up, like right when we were closest to totality, because he was playing with cameras and stuff, and certainly less eye damage than he would have gotten staring up at the sun at other times, but no, we didn't really. There was even at the peak, I mean, you could still see, there was still enough illumination. It was like, you know, dusk. And there was still a good little sliver of sun there. Like when you get the little sliver of moon. You know, the smallest amount of moon? Like that, only it wasn't the moon, it was the sun. Yeah, you were... You were right in the path. We were just out of it. But I know some people, like, was it Hamilton? Who got totality, but were so overcast that it lost some of its impact. Okay, I am going to go stretch my neck. Oh, let's see if I can get some really fun cracking noises for you. Wait. Apparently not. Neck cracking as ASMR. Ugh. Honestly, this one isn't so bad. It just sounds like a regular pop. My C1 sinks into the top of my skull. The cracking you got from your dad, who got it from his mom, well, that's an argument in favor of I got EDS from my dad, which is an interesting theory. It's possible, because men tend to not show as many symptoms. So even though dad doesn't have any obvious EDS symptoms, he could just be, you know, stiff. The middle of my neck cracking isn't so bad, except sometimes it catches. Then it hurts like hell. There's my C1 sinks into my skull, and when that pops out, oh, ugh, it's like a wet pop. Oh, so gross. So gross. The opposite of ASMR. I did a life drawing posing thing for my studio mate, but it was long poses, so I was sat in one position for 30 minutes at a time, 20 minutes with a 10-minute break. And so each break I'd just, you know, lie flat on the floor and twist my spine and freaked some people out. Don't worry, no, I'm good. Yeah, this is just normal. You should see me at the studio. Which, the wet popping at the back of my neck, yes, it is horrible. It's disgusting. It's so bad, and it only started like... want to say like 2 years ago. I'm like unimpressed. Being able to release my back with just like a gentle nudge, and I twist all the tension out of it is nice, but the neck thing, oh, ugh. Well, yeah, but I feel like there's a goal with ASMR, right? And it's supposed to be like soothing, like whatever sounds that, I don't know, make you. I don't think anybody wants. The point is, I don't think anybody wants to hear the wet pop out of the back of my neck. I'm sure it's worse inside my skull, because it is inside my skull, than it is for anyone else around, but it's still like it can't be pleasant. Okay, I am gonna go get some juice. I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Ooh. Okay. One little neck pop. Oh. Oh, so sore. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around this way so that I can get at this guy. Also, Paolo, I'm still giggling about you being the one saying explanations never make it better. I prefer to just say magic, given given that you're a chemist and you're the one who gets very worked up about magical thinking in watercolor. But when it comes to medicine, when it comes to what's going on in your body, everything's just magic. And I think I pushed it as far as I could with just, you know, it's magic, it's fine. I'm fine, totally fine, nothing to see here. Oof. I'm on top chat again. Ouch. Oh. Oh. It's not fine. Stop baiting us. No, I'm not. And I did need to get quite a bit of treatment, but actually, you know what? Speaking of which, I can still take muscle relaxants. I'm gonna go take a muscle relax. This hopefully that will loosen up. Right. Shoulders enough that I can pump my neck back into place. But also, I just want to finish this. Finish this thing. I still on Top Chat? Huh. Left it. What is this? I'm just trying to find the pralin recipe that I had. Oh, that sounds delicious. I might have to come and steal your cake. This little guy's really bothering me. It's not coming together the way I want it to. Maybe if I get some more in here. Oof. Ellen is that thing that you can't have. It's 'cause I'll eat it. But I want it. But I want it. It sounds so delicious. Okay, I'm gonna do a sort of bold thing here because this is feeling just way too messy for me. So I'm going to just put a wash of yellow over most of this, and hopefully, yeah, okay, that is working. I just was feeling too orange and green and not yellow enough. So I wanted to get this, like so. And then I can get the details back in, but there we go, that looks a little bit better. And then I can just start lifting out some of these details. Be right back. Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, that is feeling better. It's feeling more yellow. Do I want to do that to another one of them? Just for funsies. I'm gonna wait a moment, but then I think this one might want a similar treatment. Yeah. All right. No. Where did my... These things go. Oh. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Alright, another stretching break, because my neck is killing me. Oh. Side to side. Be careful not to overextend. What did I do? With my orange pen. Orange pen. It's in here somewhere. Okay, I need to swap over my water. Guess I'm gonna do a water wash. Pick up some pigment. Ow. Oh. All right, and back we go over here. Found the recipe. Good. Good, I'm glad you found the recipe. Okay, I need to lift some of this color. And then I maybe just need to take a break because, ow! Oh my goodness. Really, really not. Deck is really, really not happy with me, but I really, really want to finish this thing. Come on, relax. I'll have to watch some TV with the dogs. Okay, have fun, enjoy. Yes, and enjoy your baking. Post pictures of that cake. It sounds amazing. I will eat with my eyes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm mostly really happy with it. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this one. And I think it's just because I'm rushing a bit because I want to be done. More for the sake of my neck than anything else. Whew. Ouch. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, I sound ouchy because I am ouchy. My neck is really not happy with me. But I want to get my work done, so I'm pushing through because I have all sorts of things that I want to get done and apply for that I can't really move on until this piece is done, because it's sort of a kind of different direction with my work. Like it looks similar, and when you see it, it makes sense with the rest of the work, but in explaining what I'm doing with this project, it's difficult without having an example. And so I need to get this done so that I can have an example to show, so that I can apply for the next grant, so that I can I'm hoping that the muscle relaxants will kick in soon. That'll make it just a little bit better. And I only need, another half hour or so of work, and then this is done, and then I don't need to be bending over anything for a while. It's just, this has been, some, 9 hours of bending over stuff over the past couple weeks, so it's just, my neck does not get along with this. It's been kind of, I take a break and it seems fine, and then I come back to it and it hurts again. Get the easel out and start to use it. Yes, I do find that working at an easel helps a lot. Yeah. I can't really do it with this piece. Like even, I could go off camera, I could take this to the studio, I could whatever, but it would be a lot of setup and a lot of, like, mentally rejigging this for what is, at this point, 20 minutes of work, maybe. So this piece is not going to be at an easel. I may have to rethink what I'm doing on stream for next week, but actually, if it's just the streams, it's not a problem. The problem is that in between streams, I've spent hours on this thing. And other stuff at looking down level. And long term, that just does not work. Easel helps. The closer to vertical you can work. Anyway, I may have to experiment with camera angles and see if I can set up something to get a better angle on my work while working vertically. Even just for other videos, like, I mean, I have a backlog of videos to edit, so it's not super urgent in that respect, but okay, and then again, I'm gonna take this and just apply over here and over there. And then pick this up over there. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And whew. I may actually have to take this, put this on pause, because I'm not doing myself any favors by rushing. I don't want to, but I may have to. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, okay, I am rushing way too much because I'm in pain. I'm trying to get out of it. Problem is that because I'm rushing, I'm not actually doing the best job, and it's actually probably going to take me longer to correct. And I do in fact have like 15 minutes of work left. No, 20 minutes of work left on this thing. So, I'm gonna turn this off and go stretch. Finish this tonight, not on video, so that I'm not rushing it, I think. Thanks everyone for joining me.